Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of Warships. Today it's one of my replays, and I'm in the Moines, a tier 10 US cruiser. I'm on the map Shards in a 3-point domination game. It's a pure tier 10 battle. There is a carrier, unfortunately. There doesn't seem to be an enemy raider though. Well, the Minotaur could be a trap, but it's not divisioned with a smoke ship. It's divisioned with a cold bear, so I presume it's a smoke. Now the Minotaur hasn't been spotted yet on our flank, so it might not even be here. But we shall see how it goes. Now, the Shimmer is going in here hard, and well, that's not a very careful Shimmer. Now it's trying to smoke up because it's detected, but I'm in Des Moines, right? This is not really a winning strategy here. Just gonna pop some radar and keep shooting. Now the problem is that the smoke fire penalty of a Des Moines isn't very good. So I'm just detected here through the smoke. Because my smoke fire penalty is I think like 8.4 or something. The good news is this Shimmer is not gonna survive very long, and then I should be concealed, right? Now trying to smoke up in front of a Des Moines was not a good plan for the Shimmer. The Shimmer would have needed to run as fast as it can and just try and hope to dodge. It also should have chosen a bit more careful approach into the camp. Meanwhile, I was briefly carrier spotted here, but the planes are gone for now. I'm safely tucked in Viper's smoke screen, and this is a pretty good start. Now with the enemy destroyer gone, Viper will be able to cap here without a problem. The Minotaur has been spotted in the north, so we don't have to worry about a potential trap raider. And there's basically nothing the enemy can... Well, I mean, the carrier could try to do some spotting. But that would only work after the smoke screen has disappeared. Technically, right, an enemy could come close enough to detect me inside my smoke screen. But those are enemy battleships, they would never wanna get close to anything. So there is that. Now up in the north we've lost our Minotaur, which is a shame, and our forces seem to be somewhat outnumbered. Meanwhile, we're doing fine around here. There's 4 enemies, right? And there is, well, if we count the Shimmer to us, there is 6 of us. Well, maybe even 7 if we count in the Sao, although that's a little bit far in the back. Also, just a note, I'm doing very well here with fire RNG. I've already started 6 fires in not 4 minutes. Sorry enemies, but RNG just likes to watch you burn. Now meanwhile, my smoke is coming to an end, and oh crap, there are torps. So I'm like perfectly positioned in a sense that I'm nosing towards the torpedoes. Unfortunately, there is still the dreadful nose torp. And yeah, they could have gone better. But I timed the sinking of the Yamato perfectly with my smoke disappearing, so this is fine. Where was I? So we have a lot of ships here, and the enemy has a lot of ships in the north. Now in a situation like this, it's important to deal with the enemy as fast as possible, so you can reinforce your weaker flank. So right now it basically means the team that deals with their side first can then push to the center and possibly even create a crossfire. And we've just lost a ship up there in the north. And the other 2 are just running away. Right, the best those 2 ships in the north can do is try to delay a little bit. Maybe kite away. Try to stay alive. The best we can do around here is push the enemy as fast as possible, because the last thing we want is the enemy to start shooting us from B while we still have enemies here. Of course, we have a Schlieffen here in the back. That's basically healthy. Yeah, we'll have a look here in a second, I guess. But I think that Schlieffen is probably gonna be what, full health, something like that. Because if a German battleship is running away from a battle, let's have a look. Yep, basically full health. So See, that's the saddest part. The Schlieffen is perfectly positioned to push in and deal with those enemies. It's close enough that it's almost there to get its secondaries working. It has torpedoes. And it has help.
Enemy battleship detected.
So this would be like a very nice opportunity for a Schlieffen. Of course, instead, the Schlieffen's just gonna run away to try to be ineffective as possible. Meanwhile, we have a shimmer here in the north that's gonna provide us some spotting here. If it weren't for this shimmer, the enemy would have potentially a chance to go into concealment or use those islands to break vision, basically. But like this, they are just gonna get pummeled into the ground. Also, they're gonna get torped, like Viper and this shimmer have a cross-torp set up. And we see there are lots of fishes in the water. Being cross-torped by a Somers and a Shimakaze is not really a good place to be for a battleship. Let me tell ya. Anyway. So those enemy battleships are slowly getting whittled down. Or well, actually not that slow, yes. So the Montana is on very low health, so I'm trying to help finish it off. But then again, yeah, somebody else already did that for me.
Our team has taken the lead.
Now the Kremlin is on low health. If I'm not careful, I'm gonna get detected here. So I need to try to use that little bit of island in front of me for concealment. Now islands like this sometimes are a bit of a trap because you never know when exactly you will be spotted or not. But all worked out well so far. Meanwhile, now we've finished on this flank and the enemy is basically finished. Well, they're sort of finished on their side, right? They've sunk 2 of our ships and 2 of our ships escape. Now, speaking of escaping, I'm afraid Valkyrie is not gonna escape because the whole enemy fleet is now shooting him. And yeah, not even Yamato can stand up to that. Well, that were a lot of shells there. But despite this, we are still looking pretty good. We've had the center for the whole time, that's also important to note. Having the points advantage here obviously makes it less problematic for us. So the enemy was under a lot more pressure in theory. Not that most people in this game seem to realize that caps or points are a thing. But in reality, the enemy was under a lot of pressure even if they didn't notice. So now they've started capping B, but with our massive points lead, we could win even holding 1 cap at this point if we keep the ships about equal. So very good situation for us to be in. Viper is providing another smoke screen for me here, and I can just start clearing at that Montana. Now the bad news is this Montana is actually pushing in, and as we've established, my smoke fire penalty isn't the greatest, so if that keeps happening, the Montana might actually be a problem in, well, very soon. Also, the Sherman spotted, so definitely should be shooting that. Kind of missed a little bit an opportunity there. This Montana, while it's getting pretty close to my smoke fire penalty, it's also getting pretty close to torpedoes, and yeah.
Our victory is in sight.
Meanwhile, Sherman has come into my radar range, so we'll deal with that. And that stops the enemy even from camping. Now this battle is looking more and more won by the minute. Our Shimakaze is even going after the carrier right now. Now if that's gonna work or not remains to be seen, because if the carrier spots our shimmer here, then the remaining enemy ships might just wreck our shimmer pretty heavily. Meanwhile, there is a Colbert, so I'm switching to armor piercing. Now the Colbert is trying to angle, but the Colbert is a very weakly armored cruiser, so... Excuse me. Sorry about that. So yeah, the Colbert is a very weakly armored cruiser. And it's gonna get Citadel regardless. Poor Colbert. Meanwhile, speaking of weakly armored cruisers, there is a Minotaur pushing in. It's getting close enough that it's gonna detect me pretty soon, which usually would be a problem. But, well, first of all, it's now going broadside, so I should be able to deal with it in very quick amount of time. But also there weren't any enemies left to really fire back. Well, at this point, the enemy is barely left floating. I might just as well push in, even got my Kraken. And oh wait, the Colbert is back. So, back to armor piercing. Colbert might try angling. I don't think I care. Shooting a Colbert makes you feel like you're a battleship. And there we go. Now this brings us to the results, and I had quite a lovely battle there. Now part of it was thanks to Viper smoke screens, which really helped, because the Moines is a very squishy cruiser, and your best defense is not being seen. But it still has quite a bite to it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see ya next time.